disparity from the truth, from the factual truth. You can lie with your words, you can lie with a gesture, you can lie with your actions. But there is a bigger lie, one that is more fatal. You see, in the previous kinds of lies, it at times comes across as funny, humorous, fleeting, forgotten soon. But there's a kind of a lie that, if indulged in, can have detrimental results. And that's the lie you make to your potential. At the deathbeds of many, one preacher painted and said, they will be surrounded by their dreams, by their potential, all looking angrily at them, asking them, we were given to you by God so that you could give us life. But either because of fear, indolence, or any other thing, you did not give us the life we deserved. For the graves are aptly defined as the richest places on earth. When I received the news that I'll be coming to the US, it's a feeling that resonates with all of you. Your fellow friends, family told you you're going to the land of greener pastures. For that is the view we have about this country. A country whose architecture has been built through the powerful tool of enterprise. Rising from the dust of civil war, men like Carnegie and Rockefeller, Vanderbilt came onto the scene, and through the leveraging of enterprise were able to give birth to a new nation, one that soon would become a power and a place where people would describe with those words, a land of greener pastures. So when we were invited to come as entrepreneurs to study in a land that was shaped by entrepreneurs, it indeed looked like an opportunity to greener grass. But you'll forgive me, I'm a scientist. I'm not an entrepreneur, I'm learning entrepreneurship now. And so intuitively, I reflect, I think. And so I wondered, in my whole experience here, I wanted to know, what is this that makes America that land of greenness? And what is it that I, as an African, and my fellow colleagues can be able to take with them? And I've traced it down to simply two things. One is a sense of freedom. The sense that helps people become patriotic, allows them to be creative because they feel free and free. The second is systems. The country is built around systems that work. And frankly, for the first few weeks, we had to be taken through systems, and lots of them. And I'm sure even today, as we're sitting in the lobbies, when we realized there was a different way we could do our laundry. They built the systems. And we'll agree, this is one thing I want to take with me back home. I want my fellows to also be able to consider these two things: systems and the sense of freedom. Beginnings are powerful, for they shape two critical things. Number one, they determine the stability of whatever is built on that beginning. And number two, they determine the height to which that thing that is being built will rise. There's no way I can be able to build a 5-story building on a single-story's foundation. A single-story's foundation will only result in a single-story building. It's been aptly said, and I believe it will be repeated again, this is not the end. This is the beginning. A beginning that has been done so well, I pray that we will not leave a lie. That we will build the multi-story potential that has been both identified, harnessed, and groomed while we are within this place. Let's not leave a lie. Let me leave you with 3 things that I think, from my reflection of my experience here, will be 3 critical ingredients in helping us be able to build on the foundations that have been given to us and be able to escape living a lie. Number 1, we will need dependence. I know that word comes across as needy, but that's not what I'm looking at. Dependence is that sense of understanding that either by training, by the bestowment providentially by God, through the interaction with the various experiences, there are certain skills, certain gifts, certain enablements that have been given to you. It is your duty to be able to make the most of each and every of these abilities. However, since there is no real notion of a self-made man, dependence in its true sense will prompt us to network with others, to be smart enough to know what we don't know, and to be able to throw around us people who are better than us. As I played soccer, I understand the analogy perfectly. When the midfielder concentrates on being a midfielder, he creates an ecosystem around him that other people can be able to plug in. So sure enough, let us go out there and create the enterprises we have. Let us not betray the potential that is within us, but let us remember, we will reach points where we no longer need to compete, but what we require is to collaborate. Let us reach out, both to the family we have formed here in the US and to the family we have formed amongst the 25 of us. Beyond dependence, we need a second thing called resistance. A word used in common day English is self-control. The business environment we will be implementing in Africa will not be done in a vacuum. It's in an environment whose systems are still evolving. And in many of the countries, the sense of true freedom has not yet been able to be realized. And often, there will be the temptation to take the easy road, the shortcut, the quick fix. We will be stepping out from the plains to be received by an eager, anticipating people who will expect quick results and quick fixes. But we have learned that there is the dark side of leadership. And as we walk across the chasm to become the entrepreneurs we are, it will need time. It will need to reach out. I plead with us, let's not betray these beginnings by building on anything that builds on appetites other than those that will ensure success with stability and significance. Let us shun corruption like we would the plague. Let us shun any business dealings that will be able to get us quick rewards in the short term, but not guarantee us respect and stability in the future. But beyond dependence and resistance, there's a third and the final principle that I think will be helpful to us, and I call it influence. By courtesy of our time being together, we have been able to grow at a whole new level. In front of your name, you can now add the words BTA, Been to America. You can be able to add Washington Mandela Fellow, and that comes with clout, that comes with respect. But I plead with us, in the words of Randy Travis, the country music singer, it's not what we take when we are gone that counts, but it is what we leave behind that matters. Let us purpose that we will deliberately lean our influence and lend it to only that which will count for time and for eternity. But let me be clear as I sit down. The Africa I look forward to beyond this is one where software built by Randolph will be able to power the systems of health that are run by Abosebe and Helen Go, and together with a mobile clinic that Labour will be running. And because they will be forming amalgamations, Matthew will come to strike the legal dealings. And should anyone try to joke with them, Raziko will be on hand to ask. We will no longer depend on others to tell our stories, for we have Sedu and Fifi to be able to do this. When we are struggling to figure the finances, Farai will surely step. We don't need to worry about what we will be able to do to empower children and women, for we have Princess and Efwa to be able to handle that. And because we will be innovating and we will be creating e-waste, there will be on hand Busura to be able to handle that. When we need to be convinced together in this new Africa, Asata will be on hand to create the needful event. Policy will be created by Belaina, and we will all sit to all the doctors on Sam's system. All the money will be a reality because each will be international. And we eventually will need to be able to interact in a way that breaks the barriers. Marshall systems will be on hand, and Philip will be there to support. Because we will continuously need motivation through those dark hours. Adama will be on hand. When it all gets boring, I will step in and ask 2 questions.